Media Group.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Spill the Beans podcast.
I know you guys are probably like, where the heck are you? And it's probably sparking a little bit of PTSD, but don't worry, guys. Long story short, there's a fly in here, of course. Our office had no lights because it's been like raining and the fall season is settling into Colorado. So we had no electricity. So we had to come bring you guys home. We're bringing you home for the first date. Why did you just giggle?
Because I saw you grab your phone and I thought you were going to go into it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. And, why did that sound like an intro? Outro. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to do... I always forget the freaking name.
What?
Am I the asshole for?
Yeah, so the other day, every time I put the kids to sleep, I go onto like an app, obviously, that doesn't have any sound. So not Instagram or not TikTok, because all of those have like music playing. So I go into Facebook, and lately on my Facebook feed, all I've been seeing is "Am I the asshole?" posts. And it's crazy because these are like real people, right? Like obviously just like random people putting their information out on Facebook. And I just get so overwhelmed because I'm like, what if like your wife is on here? Because it's usually, crazy enough, men submitting all of these things. So I'm like, what if your wife one day like logs on Facebook and sees this, and then she's like, wait a damn minute, this is literally my husband, why is he talking about me on here? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever submit that, babe?
Yeah.
So have you?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Like, I got so paranoid, guys. She asked me, she's like, do you have an account and do you post on there?
On Facebook?
Yeah, you asked me right now in the car.
Okay, I'm gonna read you guys this one because it's it like blew my mind a little bit. But let's start with this, and then we'll go straight into our Instagram ones. It says, would I be the asshole if I divorced my pregnant wife? Okay. Throwaway because I want to stay anonymous. I was together with my ex-girlfriend since we were 15 up until 25. Then her best friend and her had a falling out, and that's when her best friend spilled the beans and all the secrets were exposed.
Hold up, did I submit this?
That's what sparked that. I was like, I need to read this on the podcast because it says spill the beans. She told me my ex cheated on me with a mutual friend and had been cheating for 2 years. When I confronted my ex-girlfriend, she was very angry and asked if it was her best friend who told me. I said yes. She became even angrier and said that I was a moron who didn't trust her. She refused to answer me because she said that I should know her better than this. I took it as her avoiding to answer. Now, 3 years later, I am married to her best friend and we are expecting our first child. She is 6 months pregnant. I found out that she fabricated the whole story from her sister. She showed me all the text conversations between them. My wife was in love with me and wanted my ex-girlfriend out of the way. She used their falling out to make up the story. Then she used my grief to act like she cared that I was hurting. I want a divorce. I can't even look at her without being nauseous. She repulses me. So you think he's the asshole for wanting to divorce her?
And go back to his first wife?
He didn't say he wants to go back to his first or ex. He's just saying that he wants to divorce her even though she's 6 months pregnant.
But the thing, like, I get him because how come the wife right away was like, did my ex-best friend tell you that? Like, that makes it seem...
a falling out.
But that makes it seem like, okay,
like
I could tell her some shit and she's the only one that would know something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I would take it. Like, you're just avoiding it and you...
But then you would, like, go and marry the best friend?
Oh, no. I'm sure that came, like, from something else, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like, kiss me, you know? It was probably like, hey, I'm here for you if you need anything. Oh, yeah, let's go get lunch, you know?
Ew.
Well, I don't think so. I don't think you're an asshole because why was she avoiding the question? Like, she should have been more mature and been like, hey, like, look, I would never do this to you. Here's the proof. Or ask the guy.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of like loose ends. Like she could have easily tied them up and like, hey, I didn't do this. She was so
infuriated that she also didn't really try that hard to save the marriage, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I get her though. Like I'd be pissed if you accused me of cheating.
But it was your best friend.
Yeah, and you're believing my best friend after we had a fallout, right? like my best friend and I got mad at each other. We stopped being friends, and then she went and told you all this. So I'm like, you're believing someone that obviously is hating me right now. Like that would piss me off. But then I don't think that I would go as far as to like not give you an explanation. You know?
Or prove it somehow.
Yeah.
Like, hey, message the guy. Like, I never slept with him, or
yeah, I don't think you're an asshole, but like, come on, buddy. It sucks that you're gonna divorce her, but like, I feel like, I don't know, it's not a happy ending either way. That sucks. But yeah, guys, I want to read that from Facebook. Just a little Facebook chismecito, because literally, like, I go on Facebook and it's literally puro chisme. Like, I know TikTok is toxic, but Facebook is crazy to me because it's literally locals, you know, like people that we know. So it's crazy.
Wait, it's locals?
Oh, I don't know if it's locals on that.
I always thought those people were fake.
Really?
Like, just
just make it up for funsies?
Like, just fake account, fake people, fake stories, everything.
Yeah. Oh, can we tell them an update on our last podcast?
About what?
About the things that we've been experiencing?
No, hell no.
Why
would we talk about that?
I want to talk a little bit about it, guys. So this is so crazy because you guys know in the last podcast, Jonathan told you guys about the Catholic podcast that he was listening to. He like went into a little bit more detail with me and was telling me like this priest, he answered a lot of questions that I had about the Catholic religion and the church, and it made me want to seek a deeper relationship with God. And like, we just started talking about how we just literally need to lock in with God, you know, like, you know how you lock in with your fitness journey, we need to lock in with God. And so Jonathan and I have lately, our conversations have all been about that. Like, we just need to have a better relationship with him. We need to like get closer to the church and just like talking about that. And we literally told you guys in our new house, we haven't really felt anything like crazy. Tell me why. 2 days ago, Sunday, Franco and I are chilling downstairs because Belen and Jonathan are taking a nap. And out of nowhere, like, I'm just thinking about like what we've been talking about, God, and like, yeah, we should get closer to God or whatever. In that exact moment, I hear a loud bang upstairs. And I look at the camera and Jonathan and Belen are knocked out. So I'm like, what the hell would have happened? So I go upstairs. And I'm like, it sounded like it came in the bathroom. I go into Franco's restroom. The shower curtain fell off. I'm like, what the heck? So I just wanted to say, like, all that to say is we should get closer to God.
And another thing,
like
guys,
riling up
that's really weird is that this is a new HOA, right? So all the houses here are like cookie cutter. Like, they look exactly the same landscaping, same yard. We all have the same
that's crazy.
Sprinklers, like they turn on at the same time, everything, right? So everyone's grass is pretty much the same, right?
Beautiful green.
So then our house, for some reason, it got ugly like that, guys, like quick. Está like there ya no hay zacate, son puras hierbas.
Yeah,
puras,
one day we wake up and all our grass is puras hierbas.
Like weeds, like those really, not even the weeds that are like have dandelions, like no, like it's the really prickly, like you can see, casi puedes ver los, what are they called?
Like the little...
Like the thorns, like those really nasty ones that like, even with gloves, they would like, if you've ever had to do landscaping with your dad or with your family, you know that no glove will protect you from those type of thorns that those weeds have. So I'm so happy that I bought one from Amazon. Es como de eso, le pisas y con el pie le haces así. Y te saca el weed. It takes out the whole weed from the root. So I've been doing that all morning. It took me like an hour and a half to even get like half of them out, guys. I'm telling you, our front like infested with weeds, guys, and we're the only one. It
out of nowhere too. Yeah. Like this whole summer, our lawn wasn't dry. Our lawn was perfect and pretty and green.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden this week, we just wake up with a bunch of weeds.
With weeds. So it's like, I think it was a lot of the energy too when everything was happening with the whole canceling and stuff. And like we were going through a rough patch with that. But also like now that we're trying to get actively closer to God, just weird shit like this starts happening. Like we feel like for the first time ever, I do feel weird in this house. Like I feel like rooms and stuff like that. Like I feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah, like it feels heavy.
The other day I was at our commissary kitchen and we started like, our commissary kitchen, we started grabbing it from, or started sharing it with a restaurant on Main Street. And for those that don't know, Longmont, the town we live in, was founded in 1810. So a long, long time ago. Point is, like, people have probably died in those buildings, you know? Like, they're so old and it's like Western, like the Western times in America. And I just like felt like Y lo Joe told me, your brother was like, yeah, they're like, there's this guy here que tiene un altar para la Santa Muerte, like upstairs and stuff. Shoot. So it's like, I just felt like I was being like, I don't know. I feel like when you're not seeking a connection with God, it's like the devil, like, I already have you, like
you're mellow, like it's fine.
Yeah, like, and it's when they say, like, that priest in that podcast said, like, just know that when you start this seminar journey, like when you start going to priest school, like you're gonna start feeling you're gonna start getting attacked, you know. And then when he became officially the exorcist, like the go-to priest for exorcism, he's like, the devil's gonna even start fucking with you even more because now you're like messing with his demons, you know. Yeah. And it's like he started listing a bunch of stuff that would happen to him and stuff, and it's so crazy. And now that like we're seeking a better connection and like
talking more about him.
You know what, guys? I'm going to post a screenshot here because I really do want you guys, if anyone out there has ever struggled with the Catholic faith and like me, like I've struggled with the Pope and priests and churches, and I've always thought that's man-made and like, what does it have to do with Jesus Christ and stuff like that? That priest just explains things so beautifully and so good. And he basically said that I've never heard this before, right? And my mom, she's one of the biggest people in the Catholic religion in Colorado, like, period, you know? Like, she's one of the biggest influences here and personas. And not even her has she been able to get through me like this priest has in the podcast. And it basically said, like, religion is what you give, is the acts that you give back for God giving you the biggest gift, which is life. Mm-hmm. So when religion is you... because you can never pay God back for what he did, which was give you life and then die for your sins, right? Mm-hmm. Like you can never replicate creating life like he did. So religion is just that, like trying to repay him every day for that gift.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like you're just trying to, at the end of the day, like settle a debt, which at the end of the day, you'll never be able to, right? Because we're not magicians. We don't have superpowers like that. But like, it's just the act of trying to follow in his. Anyways, guys, but yeah, little like, just to go to say that like teníamos unas weeds like the size of like even my neighbor. I was talking to him. He's like a 16-year-old kid. He's like, dude, I thought you were growing corn. Like that shit was so huge. Like
they were. Even my mom was like surprised. Yeah. She's like, how did that just overnight grow that big? It does not make sense. We've been here for how long? Last summer we had no weeds or not at a all. Weed problem like that at all. This summer we had like 2 feet tall weeds growing in some like dirt beds that we have that we do nothing with. So it's just crazy, guys. And I just wanted to say that because obviously you guys know we're not like the biggest religion people. We've been Catholic our whole life. We've never really like talked much about it, and we're not here to like, oh, hey, we should do this, you should do this with your faith. We're just here to simply tell you. It's like we're friends and we're just catching up once a week, and I'm just telling you like, hey, remember last week I told you that I was like seeking a relationship with God and we were safe. I felt safe and sound at the house. Well, this week like we started feeling some type of way, and it is crazy. It's just like the attacking that is coming at us is insane. And now like I used to hear things and listen to things and I'd be alone in the house and I'd be like scared. I'm like, oh no, like I'm riling up the spirits or whatever. And these past few days when I heard things and I've been like feeling some type of way, I just look at him like, dude, like basically like I know it's bad, you know, but it's like when it's someone that's just annoying you, you know, you're just like, dude, F you, like just leave me alone, like stop, you know. Yeah, you exist, cool, but so does God, you know. So it's just been crazy, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to update you a little bit because I know that a lot of you guys didn't stick around through that whole episode, but that's basically the gist. We told you guys we were chilling. Now we're not chilling, girl, but it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, all that to say, we're gonna get straight into the am I the asshole little stories here on Instagram. I do have some on my personal page that I got sent, so you can start with spill the beans and I'll do the rest.
For ending something with the guy after 8 months of no title and after he kept liking girls' pics.
No, baby.
No, you're not the asshole. Mm-mm. I've never understood that, guys. I feel like I sound like a broken record at this point, but liking girls' pics has to be the most disrespectful thing a guy can do in a talking stage and in a relationship stage. Obviously, exclude friends. I guess friends and family. But liking random girls like that, I will never understand because as a guy, okay, whatever. You're in a relationship, estás de loquillo. oh, this girl popped up on my For You. I'm going to follow her. I think she's attractive. Oh, that picture. Oh, she's in the bikini. Okay, look at it with your eyeballs. Why are you like double tapping? That double tapping, it's so much deeper than just a like, guys. To me, a like is like, I'm trying to get either one, I'm trying to get her attention, and two, it goes with it, not and, or it's and two. I just don't respect or value my spouse enough to not like restrain myself from moving my finger up and down and double tapping.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like I remember this. I remember when the whole watch history on TikTok came up, and people were like, it's ending our relationships, because I have seen it before where you're going through your For You page and out of nowhere something pops up that you don't really interact with. And then you go and like, if you start watching all the videos, like it's there, you know, and that's what was hurting a lot of relationships in the past. Well, now it's just a normal feature. You can go and still check your husband's phone to see. But it is crazy because it's like, I feel like the one thing that my mom has always taught me is like, si no tienes temor de Dios, no tienes temor de nada, right? And that is so true, because I feel like when you're alone and you're like doom scrolling on TikTok, it's like, okay, my husband's not near me. Like, he doesn't know what I'm looking at. But for me, it's always been like, but God is watching me. And like, why am I going to disrespect my husband in front of him, right? So it's like all the content you consume. So I feel like that's even, it feels like such a betrayal when you go on your watch history and you're like, oh, so he watched this on your For You page, clicked on it, and then you watched all of the other ones, you know, like that's insane. So I feel like you're not, I know it's so little, and like your husband or your girlfriend, whatever, it could be like, dude, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Like I just liked it. I just followed her. But it's like, genuinely, when you're in a relationship like that, you shouldn't be scared of any of that. Like when you become serious with someone, it's like, you know that your eyes are just for them, right? You know that we're in a monogamous relationship, right? And so I feel like it's something you shouldn't have to worry about. So you're never the asshole, girl, please. This one says, am I the asshole for wanting more attention from my husband? He provides, but I feel so alone sometimes. Then I'm like, maybe I ask for too much. No, you're not the asshole. I feel like marriages are so hard in that sense, because you're like, oh, well, he's doing this. Well, at least he does this, you know, and you're like overcompensating for him. And something that I've always thought about, it's like, people always say, oh, life isn't a fairy tale, right? Like life is real life and real things. But I feel like when you're married and you can genuinely talk to your husband and be like, hey, like, I feel like you don't hug me anymore. I feel like you're not talking to me anymore. I feel like we don't cuddle anymore. And you should be able to say things like that, even if he's providing, even if his check is helping you out and manteniéndote, you know, like who cares? It's that. And on top of it, it's the bare minimum. You have to still love me. You have to still show me. You have to still tell me, you know? So I feel like that would help out a lot of marriages, is like, just sit down and tell your husband that. Like, hey, I would appreciate it if, like, hey, I'm so grateful that you go to work every day. I know you get home tired, but it'd be nice if we just cuddle, you know?
Yeah.
You don't have to make it a whole, like, hey, why the heck aren't you hugging me anymore? Just like, llegales por el lado bueno type vibes. Guys, we love summer. Something about it just makes us feel right.
Yeah, and what better time to start eating healthy and get into Green Chef than right now? It's the #1 meal kit for clean eating.
Wow. Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying summer. They have their new Heat and Eat meals, which means that you enjoy a delicious meal in just 3 minutes.
With 80 plus dietitian approved meals every week, Green Chef makes it easy to find meals that fit your lifestyle.
You can pick from Mediterranean, gluten-free, plant-based, and protein-heavy, even gut and brain health and calorie-smart choices too. And the recipes change every week. With week-to-week flexibility, you can adjust your plan to match your mood and your schedule.
We personally use Green Chef because in a world full of fast food and super quick options that are not that healthy for you, Green Chef comes in to save the day and give you a healthier alternative to eating quickly.
One of our favorite meals has been the steak and shrimp with the creamy chive sauce. It literally made it feel like we were eating at a restaurant, but it was at home and everybody enjoyed it.
Make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef.
Head to greenchef.com/50spillthebeans and use code 50spillthebeans to get 50% off your first month. Then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping.
That's code 50spillthebeans at greenchef.com/50spillthebeans. am I the asshole for not giving my husband the deed when tired, and he keeps sending me videos of other women talking about how I should be giving more of the good more often? I'm on birth control, so my sex drive is low, and on top of it, I take care of my son 25/8. No, you're not the asshole. I feel like what I've learned throughout my almost 12 years of being with Blanca and everything, it's that sex drive isn't just like a physical thing, it's an emotional thing. And if a woman isn't like you're tired, you're with your son all the time, and if he's not really helping out with that, I feel like when you're dating, arousal comes from the good body, the good hair, the smelling good. And then when you're married, that arousal, I mean, obviously that stuff matters still, but then it turns into, he put the kids to sleep, he washed the dishes, he helped in around the house, he cooked, or he told me to have a day off for myself. Like, I feel like a lot of guys get stuck on like the, oh my God, like, why don't you give me head like you used to when we were dating? And it's like, bro, like, things change.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think that a woman's libido is so hard to navigate, especially because of all of our hormones. The older we grow, or if you had birth control in the mix, if you had kids, like, it all affects you. And that's the one thing I have always told Jonathan, is like, babe, for me, like, and I know he's seen this before, like, ever since we were in high school, obviously our bodies have changed, and not once has it just been his body that arouses me, right? And I've always told him, like, and we hear this all the time, foreplay starts in the morning, like, it doesn't start 10 minutes before you want to get it on with your partner. So that's the one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. And the one thing I just want to say is, like, when you're married to someone, you should be comfortable to have the uncomfortable conversations, because this is your life partner, right? Like, when you marry someone, you're like, no, like, I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life. So that means you're going to have very many uncomfortable conversations. And that is one of them, because obviously Jonathan has talked so many times about how guys are guys, and literally, like, that keeps them happy, right? Like, sexual intercourse is really important. And for women, yeah, we like it too, but it's more of an emotional, deeper connection. So if they, like, it's so funny how guys can just, like, they're ready to go in 1 second, and women, it's like, well, do you remember in the morning when you didn't kiss me when you left? Like, that really turned me off for the day. And then you didn't text me at lunch, so that turned me off even more. And then you got home and you went straight to the bathroom instead of, like, coming and saying hi and playing with the kids. Like, like, that just added the cherry on top. So tonight my head hurts and I'm going to sleep, which is different, because it's something that you can like switch so fast, and you don't think about it, because I feel like you lay in bed at night, you're like, like, he didn't kiss me this morning, he didn't say I love you, he didn't do this. And then slowly but surely that ends up being a really big problem that could potentially cause disconnection and separation, right? And
then egos to be lifted.
Exactly.
Pride, like, oh, I'm not going to talk about it first.
Like, he should know what I'm doing. He should know what I need, right? And it's not like that. Like, when you're in a marriage, I feel like when you're a mom, right, everything is in your head. Like, the kids, this, the kitchen, the laundry, the bathroom. And then a guy's like, oh, like, I have to go to work. I have to wake up at 5, And it's like, both of you have so much going on in your brains that marriage should be one of the easiest things to talk about. Like, hey, you know what? Like, I noticed you didn't say this in the morning. I noticed you didn't text me at lunch. And I noticed you did this. Like, do you think that you could change that? And sure enough, that's going to make you feel heard, and it's going to make you feel more comfortable emotionally, to then at night, even though you're so tired, like, it literally could take up to 3 minutes, to just have that connection with your spouse. So I don't know, I feel like it's something that Jonathan and I have talked about a lot, especially after having kids. It's like, hey babe, like, we can go in the closet for 2 minutes, and like, and I know it's like so silly and funny and haha, but it's true. It's just, I don't know, I feel like marriage is complicated, but there's so many aspects that could just be lifted if you had uncomfortable conversations. Yeah,
more uncomfortable conversations more often, I think, is because I remember telling Blanca this a while ago. We were like in a little rough patch, and I told her, I was like, babe, like, because you kept like, well, this and that, and I was like, or the fact that we would argue, and it's like, I don't know what planet you live on, but like, a perfect marriage, like, it's not one and done, Like, I remember telling you, like, it's not like we go to therapy, we become the best versions of ourselves, and then bam, we never argue for the rest of our 80 years of life. Like, that is genuinely the most impossible thing in the world, I think, right? Like, there's always, like, in a 55 years of marriage or whatever, there's gonna be like altercations, like when you live with someone for so often, like como no, like it's impossible, you know. So I was like, it's just better to work on and getting the proper tools to navigating these little things so they don't become like bigger. And like one of the things, like let me give you guys an example, is I've told Blanca, I was like, before we would kind of, you know, our prides would clash and then we wouldn't talk for 3-4 days, you know, or sometimes even up to a week. And I'd be like, that's where I set my foot down. Because obviously women, you guys have a little bit more like, what's that called? Like, I don't want to say ego. I want to say, I don't know. You guys are way better at silent treatment than guys, you know? Like,
pride?
No? I don't know. Like, I think women are good overall. Like, I don't want to make you seem bad, babe, but like, I just feel like you guys can hold grudges better there. Like, hold grudges, you know? Like Belen right now, she's a grudge holder compared to Franco. So I was like, look, if we're going to get better and talk in those 3-4 days and we're not going to divorce, it's like, why waste that time that we could be loving each other, right? Let's have that conversation. Let's cool off for a little bit, obviously, and then like have a cool off brain and mind, and then reconnect. And if I still think I'm in the right, or you still think you're in the right, or whoever just genuinely thinks was wrong has to come forth and apologize or make things better, you know? So that's the one thing I've told Blanca is like, no more silent treatments or try even to like, yeah, we'll go to sleep sometimes not in the best mood, but like definitely not like, it does not carry till the next day. In the morning, I estamos like chicles, you know? Because I feel like that's so pointless. Like,
yeah, I think that one thing that I've noticed a lot, and guys, here I go again telling you about my shows that I watch, right? So, you know, Desperate Housewives changed my life because it was following 5 different marriages. And then I started watching This Is Us again, which is one of my favorite shows on Hulu. And it just follows 3 different lives, well, like 4 different lives. It goes back and forth. And the one thing that both of those shows has taught me continuously is that every marriage suffers through so much pain, right? And granted, we always talk about how like cheating and abuse and like abusing your kids, whatever, like all of that are non-negotiables, right? We totally understand. But it's like things simply like that, because I think that the more we grow and we notice things in marriages, it's 2 things. It's financial fights and not having enough sex, right, for your partner. And those 2 things are something that you can work on really hard and have uncomfortable conversations. And I know as girls, we're like, I'm a soft girl, like I don't talk about my sex life, and especially not to my partner. Like if I'm shy, I'm not going to tell him, right? But it's like, he's your husband and he's going to be with you, and he saw you at 15 and I know now you're 25 with 2 kids, but who cares? Like, you're still beautiful. Like, you gave him those 2 kids. Like, I feel like in a relationship, both of you have to feel so empowered and comfortable with yourselves to have those conversations, and it's going to help a lot of marriages. And I know like we're young and a little bit dumb still, but that's one thing that we have done that we know is true, with like having so many uncomfortable conversations, and then the next day you're like, oh, like I can do it. It gets easier. Like one day you're like, oh, we fought, but we have to have this conversation in order to have a good day, so let's do it now, instead of having a terrible day and then going to sleep mad, you know? Yeah. I know we're young, guys, trust me, I know, but it's just, we're just coming from the experience that we have so far.
Cutting contact with my in-laws for not showing up to my kid's birthday party. Damn. I mean, I want to think that they didn't have a good reason not to show up, or else you wouldn't be like submitting it like that. So if they didn't have no reason, they just didn't want to come, or maybe they did have a reason, but it was not more important than their own grandkids' birthday, then no, you're not an asshole, I think.
No. I think when it comes to kids, it's always like that, huh? Like, you notice who shows up and who doesn't. And I know like you shouldn't hold grudges or whatever, but we just said, if women already hold grudges enough with like their partners or friends or whatever, when it comes to my kids, girl, please. Like, I know exactly who you are by the way you treat my kids. Because it's like, oh yeah, you can't tell me you love me and we have such a good relationship and you don't care about my kids, you know? So yeah, especially if it's your in-laws. I feel like in-laws, like your parents and your in-laws, the set of grandparents is really important. So if they don't show up and they don't have a good reason.
I also think it's like generations, like congrats to you, girl. Like you're breaking generational curses, and I'm so proud of, like, are we millennials? I don't think we're millennials,
I don't know what
right?
we are, to be honest.
I think we're like Gen Z, upper Gen Z, because then Magali, I think she's like, and Jimena are like something else, like Gen Alpha or whatever. But what I've been seeing, and it's so true, because today I saw it with my own very two eyes, guys. I went to Target this morning or yesterday, and I saw, like, I'm not gonna exaggerate. I'm gonna keep it a buck. 3 dads with their kids, just the dads. One was loading his daughter into the car, the dad I told you with the 3 kids, and then another dad with like a slightly older daughter, but he was holding her hand, like walking. So it was like, this is awesome. Like, dads are more involved in this generation. They're going to be so amazing because they're showing more love, more presence at like events and sporting events. So right now, girl, like, I feel like I can relate to you, because a lot of the times grandparents, they just don't see these things. A lot of the things we see as important, like, oh, can't go to your son's first or your son's baseball game, or can't go to his birthday party, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, in their head, because they grew up like in Mexico or with like their old ways, maybe they didn't get their birthday celebrated like that, or no one made a big deal about their first sporting event. It's like, why are they like, to you, for example, like, oh my God, why is she so upset that I couldn't make his birthday party? Like, he's not, the little kid isn't even going to remember. Like, why does it matter, you know? But like, everything, our generation, we're trying to raise the best kids possible, give them the most amazing, not just love, but like meet all their needs emotionally, kind of like inside out. And grandparents, unfortunately, Mexican grandparents, I'll straight up call you guys out, just don't have that brain side of their brain activated in some cases, you know?
Yeah. That's one thing that I want to talk about too, because what was it that I saw the other day? Oh, I want to talk shit about myself, because I remember when I had Franco, right? And he was like 6 months and we didn't go to Disney, and I told him, I was like, why are we going to take him to Disney if he's not going to remember, like, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, we were not Disney adults back then. And now I'm like, dude, we should go to Disney every month because it's amazing and beautiful. And it's like, but we're going to remember. Like, Jonathan and I are always going to remember, like, babe, do you remember when we took them and they were being crazy and they just wanted to crawl and run and we were stressing, we couldn't get on all the rides, but it was so fun because it was magical for us, you know? Like, we're like, we didn't get to go to Disney till we were 25. And now our kids are going at 18 months, you know?
And so, like, we have pictures.
Yeah. And it's that I'm like trying to get through to you guys. It's like, we remember, right? So it's like Jonathan said, oh, I'm not going to go to their first baseball game, but they're 3. Like, they're not going to remember yet. But it's like, the parents are going to remember. Like, you think that you want to show up just when the kid is going to remember you, but it's like the parents didn't feel that support, that love, that community. So why are you going to try to show up when they're already 15 and they want nothing to do with you?
Yeah.
You know? So don't ever let anybody make you feel that way. Like, hey, I know it's your son's first birthday, but he's not going to remember, so I can't make it. I actually have to do something else. It's like, okay, cool. But when you say you're my best friend, or you're like the best tia, or you're the best grandma, you're going to make it just because you love the parents. You know, it's not so much about the kids yet, because you haven't like grown a connection with them. So don't ever feel like an asshole for cutting people off because you feel like they're not showing up the way they should.
Yeah.
This one says, am I the asshole? It says, oh, me and my baby daddy split up and he moved in with his mom who mind you stopped talking to her for 5 to 6 years because she was on drugs. And now that he made up with her, he wants her to watch our kids to help him. And am I the asshole for saying no because she's not a trustworthy person? Let me just add that he claims she's changed and she's been different now, but she's only been back in his life for 3 months. The same lady that abandoned him and let his grandma raise him. The same lady that kicked him out when we were in high school because he had a fight with her wife. Actually, no, I'm not the asshole. I just wanted to vent. Oh, period queen. I feel like it's crazy when you think you're an asshole because you're like, okay, because I know when you're married, like you both make decisions, right? You're like, hey babe, like I think that she should watch him, or I think that we should do this with our kids, whatever. But I feel like parents should just stop being guilty, over explaining, over compensating when you want to say like, oh, I don't want your mom to watch him because of this history, or I don't want your aunt to watch him because of this history. Like Jonathan and I had hard conversations, even with the girls were younger. And Mali's like, I can take care of them. Like, I can take care of them. And Jonathan and I had that talk, like, hey, or Jonathan was like, hey, I don't think like she should, because she's not old enough. Like, she doesn't know when they're going to choke. And even still to this day, we have the conversation where it's like, if we're leaving, don't feed them, like just watch TV with them, play with them, whatever, but don't feed them. We're going to be back in an hour, So just wanted to say that, like, when you're a parent, your kids are the most important thing in your life. So do not ever feel guilty or like you're an asshole because you don't want a certain person to watch them. Because how many stories have we seen, baby, of all of these?
Or like being a helicopter parent at like parties. This guy said it perfectly. This guy right now, he's a Mexican guy. He's getting dragged. Well, not dragged. A lot of people support him, but all the like, it's called DL. He's like exposing all the gay like gay tios and dads and construction sites, but also all the sexual abuse that happens like every year, and it gets passed down by generation. And that he was at a family party and he was just walking like right behind his daughter the whole time, and then someone told him like, oh, pues like déjala, or they were making fun of him like, bro, like just sit down, chill, relax, like, And then he said, like, what the fuck? Like, why would I relax? Like, 70% of all sexual abuse comes from your own family members and, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, why wouldn't you, instead of drinking with other guys, like, how about you get up and stop being a bum and go take care of your own kids, Yeah. So it's, like, true. It's, like, I don't know. Sometimes I used to feel like, oh, my God, like, I feel like I'm just there, Franco, like, not letting him play or express himself. But never apologize for just wanting the best for your kids,
Yeah. I think that older generations are like that, because I did see the one where it's like, isn't it crazy how it became so normal when people are like, oh, you walk into a Hispanic household and it's a party and there's a random people sleeping in your random kid sleeping on your bed. And it's like, I used to be like, haha, hee hee, that's so funny. But I'm like, dude, there's like drunk men at this party, or there's like kids that are not being watched. And how many stories have come out of cousin on cousin, like, like kids just doing what they've been taught. So it's just crazy, guys. Like, never ever feel guilty for any decision you make with your kid, because who's going to take care of your kid better than you? No one. Guys, you know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? It's getting burned by your old wireless bill.
While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, 3-day weekends, your old wireless bill should be the last thing you should be worried about.
With Mint Mobile, you can get the coverage and speed you're used to, but for way less money. So while your friends are sweating over data overages and surprise charges, you'll be chilling, literally and financially.
Say bye-bye to your old wireless plan's jaw-dropping monthly bill and unexpected outages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you.
All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text. All of that delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan. Bring your old phone number, your own phone contacts. You don't lose a single thing, guys.
Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile at just $15 a month.
If we ever needed to switch, we would switch to Mint Mobile.
This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/spillthebeans.
That's mintmobile.com/spillthebeans.
Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time at new customer offer for the first 3 months only.
Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Not choosing one of my long-term friends as a bridesmaid. Oof, girl. You know what? I was about to say your wedding, your choice. But let me guess, girl. Who did you choose? A cousin? An aunt? Or a sister because you felt obligated because it's blood and it's family? But has that long-term friend showed up more than that cousin you see once a month or once every 6 months? Like, did that long-term friend deserve that spot more? Because I'm telling you what I would do. If I don't have any cousins my age. I'm the oldest by a long shot on my mom's side, and that's the only side I really talk to. So, and even then, on my dad's side, I have like majority female cousins. So But I'm saying if I did, but my friend Marco or Luis have been in my life and prioritized me and my kids more, why wouldn't I choose them over a cousin, you know? So if that was the case, which I don't know how else you would leave your long-term friend out. Yeah. That was messed up, girl. But if I'm tugging it out of my ass because, like, I don't know, something happened.
Guess you didn't really tell us a reason.
Maybe you're like, you have 3-4 sisters and that you're all close, but also your long-term friend. And so then in that case, then no. I mean, you're close with your sisters or your cousins, then whatever. Yeah. I feel like at the end of the day, blood does hold some sort of bond. Like, we've seen it, you know, like cousins fight, but they always come back to each other because the moms will try to make things better, the grandma, the et cetera. When you fall off with a friend, yeah, it's kind of harder because there's no other parties trying to bring that relationship back together, you know? So and maybe you had that in mind. Like, well, what if my long-term friend betrays me one day and I have to see her in my wedding pictures? My cousin, yeah, she'll talk shit about me, but we'll just fight it out and then get drunk and then let it all out and get therapy and then hug. You know, hug. Yeah.
Cry and hug. This one's kind of similar. Am I the asshole for wanting to cut off my friend because she didn't attend my wedding? Backstory. This is my only close friend and only person outside of family that was invited. She was preparing to go by getting a passport and looking for flights. Hotel was going to be covered by us. Days leading up to the wedding, she never reached out saying she couldn't make it or even said congratulations. Just felt a little played, as if I've always shown up for her and her family. FYI, even after the wedding, she never acknowledged it. No, girl, you can cut her off. It's okay. I mean, I would feel so shitty if I wasn't going to be able to make it to my friend's wedding. So I would obviously tell her as soon as, hey, like I couldn't get flights, or hey, I can't go, money's tight. But no explanation, no congratulations, no acknowledgement. Like, is it actually your close friend? You know what I mean? Maybe she was your friend and you never were really her friend. You know, that's how a lot of relationships have been broken, when it's like, oh, I thought you were my best friend, but I wasn't yours, you know? So you're not an asshole, baby. Babe, why are you having such a hard time?
That's because, like, Instagram does this thing where they try to continue it and they'll put a different question in the middle. Like, telling my boyfriend I don't want to go over to his house anymore, parentheses, he lives with his parents because, and then I'm trying to find like the other part and I can't find it. But let's go in based off of that. I don't know. It depends. Like, how long have you been with each other? Like, have you been dating for 5 years and he still doesn't want to leave his mom's house and get an apartment with you or something? Then yeah, I would, you know, I don't think you're the asshole because I don't know. If you, like, si tiene los pantaloncitos para be in a relationship, take you on dates, I think as a man, there comes a point where you just got to grind a little bit harder and make it work. You know?
Yeah, like, what is your future goal? Are you guys going to end up moving in together? Then it's time to.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of guys get comfortable because, let's say, I see this way too often. Guys start making good money, you know, construction job, car salesman, whatever. And then they're at their mom's house. Oh, shit, no bills. And I'm making all this money. Yeah, I'll buy my mom groceries or help with the Wi-Fi every once in a while. But for the most part, no bills. And you're making all this money. And, like, I don't have to sleep with my girl and, like, deal with the hassle of that, like laundry and stuff. And in some cases, like, they're, like, in their 20s and their mom's still doing their laundry and cooking for them. So it's like, bro, I'm in heaven. I'm making good ass money. I'm living with my mom.
¿Pa qué voy a batallar,
like, ¿pa qué me voy a salir con esta? Que, like, she's already saying, like, on TikTok, I'm not gonna cook and clean for my man. Like, you know, that new wave of, like, unfortunately of women, but also that new wave of what are they calling men these days? I need my feelings hurt. I drink matcha. Like, what are they called? But you know what I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah, I know.
So there's a lot of, like, more feminist, but then also, like, soft boy era or whatever, you know? So it's like, it's just a bad time right now to be dating. I feel like if you're out there in the dating scene, I've seen right in TikTok and TikTok comments, it sucks because either people want to have sex right away or they don't want to. They're not that they don't want to. It's like impossible to move out in this economy. So
yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. I was reading this thing that if, like, you wanted like minimum wage would have to be to make like a living, like just a living, not like Disneyland, not a luxury, no, nothing like that, not a brand new car, just pay rent and pay bills and food. Minimum wage has to be $66 an hour.
Oh,
so how the heck do you want people to survive on $15 to $20 an hour? That is ridiculous. That's why people nowadays have to have 2 to 3 jobs. That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, we are living in rough
so
times.
Post those TikToks, post those YouTube videos, start your small business, guys. You just have to do it. Like I always tell you guys, why not you? Why not you? Like you see all these TikTokers, like I love using Santi as a reference. That fool, I remember seeing him. He was working at Home Depot. And now he has like 3 investment properties, a Lamborghini. He's traveling the world with his friends, all because he posted silly dancing videos with wigs in the parking lot. And it's like, I know people that have the charisma, the talent, the grind to do it. And it's all because they're shy. Yep. They're scared their cousins in Mexico are going to see their TikTok. They're scared their mom's going to see their TikTok. Oh, I'm so shy. My preacher's going to see my TikTok. Like, come on, bro. Like, you cannot let embarrassment stop you from potentially making generational wealth in this time, you know? Because who knows? Maybe TikTok gets so saturated to the point where they're like, hey, we're not going to pay that much anymore. Like, we don't really need it. It used to be 100,000 users. Now it's 5 billion. Like, we don't really have to pay for ads like that anymore. So from making $1,000, you're going to make 100. And si quieres, because it's the only option, right? Like, what's stopping them from doing that right now? So get on it right now that it's still paying good and go for it.
Yep. This one says, am I the asshole for wanting to change madrinas for my daughters? So I asked my cousin to be my daughter's madrina last year, but ever since I asked her, she hasn't been present in my daughter's life anymore. She stopped asking for her, etc. Every time I want to baptize her, she says she never has money. She never has money for my daughter's birthday, Easter, or Christmas. I don't expect something big, but I just think it's the thought that counts. But she travels, goes to concerts, etc. She just got back from Canada. Mind you, she stayed there for 2 months. What do you guys think about being an asshole?
Hell no, girl.
Nah, baby. This is what we say all the time. Like, don't feel guilty for the decisions you make when it involves your kids. And I know, like, it's gonna be the talk of the family chisme table. Like, mira esto, ya le dijo que quería hacer, que no quería hacer, mejor va a agarrar a otra persona. Who cares, girl? Because I know, like, we have history with that, right? With Franco's padrinos, and we know, like, all the background. Like, we know what it's like to be a padrino. If you are actively not looking for because mind you, we know we're busy, right? Everyone has a life, everyone has work, everyone's trying to make it out here, so it's busy. If you don't have any thought in your mind about, like, maybe I should just, like, get him a little something for Christmas, you know, that's insane. Like, that's already crazy. And I think even say, I know, like, everyone is struggling right now, like, the world is crazy, but the simple fact that you're like, for Christmas, like, I'm going to save $1 a day just for Christmas. I can get her a beautiful present,
babe, but
right?
she's traveling.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
She's traveling. Leave the people that are struggling out of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, even the people that are struggling, like, save up for the Christmas present or the birthday present, you know, like, the big moments, the big
Or
milestones.
You don't even have to show it with gifts. Like, be present. Like, hey, do you mind if I take such and such? Let me use my ¿Cómo se dice? My goddaughter as an example. Yo, Luis, I'm broke as crap right now, bro. Like, blah, blah, blah. But let me take Penny out for a freaking Frosty at Wendy's or something. Like, let me take her go to play at the Chick-fil-A indoor playground thing. You know, like, you just have to make an effort, a little one, you know?
Yeah, just try to be there. And I think it's hard when it comes to picking your kids' padrinos, because obviously, like, we went through this, right? We're like, you know, are they going to be in their life? Are we going to see them? Are we going to actively choose? And that is 10 out of 10 the parents' responsibility, is to have a close relationship with your kids' padrinos, right? Because now we don't know who our padrinos are. We don't know what their life went to. You know, we don't know what they're doing. But it's like, we have to be like that. Hey, guys, like with Luis and Noemi, we have our annual Disney trip that we know we're going on. Yeah. Like, if we don't see each other all year because we're busy, like, we have this. We're going to see each other for Penny's birthday. We're going to see each other for our kid's birthday. Like, we have these milestones, right? So if you're like traveling, if you're going to concerts, but I don't have money for his birthday present, that's crazy, you know. So,
but I also want to blame the girl that submitted this because why, like, no te las olías, you know, like, it's because this is the thing with the Mexican culture, guys. We pick our padrinos. Who's the vibiest? Ven, papi.
Who's the coolest?
Yeah. I feel like, he's my best friend at the time.
5 minutos. Sorry.
Sí, pa, ya merito, okay? Who's the coolest person right now? Or, este es mi primo y tiene un rancho y tiene mucho dinero. Este nos conviene, blah, blah, blah. Or like in that case, it was her cousin. Me and my cousin girl, we used to have all these trips, these Miami trips. We were outside. I had a baby. Can I be the madrina? Yeah, sure. You know, like,
yeah, doesn't do anything.
Like, we knew Luis and me for 2 years, and we knew from the get-go when we met them, oh shit, like,
and we still had our thoughts too. Remember, I was like, no, like, if she's with me through pregnancy and through postpartum and all, like, she's gonna be, like, she has to be. And no, I mean, literally not once was I like, well, she didn't show up for me. Like, no, like, we had no doubts. So if you're already having doubts and you guys haven't even baptized, girl, say bye-bye and look for someone else, because that is insane. And who, like, I know for like the party, maybe she doesn't have money, right? But she could actively be like, hey, like, maybe we won't throw a big party. Like, let's just baptize her, go to dinner, and I'll get her like her medallita or whatever, you know? It's literally the thought that counts. You said it yourself, you know it. I think you just need someone to be like, hey, you're not an asshole.
Also la pena. Like,
yeah,
I get her. Like, I get her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's gonna be the talk of the cheese table on Christmas.
But it's also like, think about padrinos, right? This is what I've always heard. Si tú te mueres, like, son las personas que tienen que cuidar, or like, se van a hacer a cargo de tu hijo. Like, maybe not physically, obviously, maybe your mom or the grandma.
Or your sister.
You know? But the padrinos should be the ones like, que te falta, you need school supplies. And someone you can truly trust like that if you were to not be on this world anymore, you know?
Yeah, so don't, like, I think it's the pena, right? That you're like, I'm embarrassed to like tell her because then I'm going to be the talk of the
and you're going to lose that relationship.
But also, like, isn't it going to be more embarrassing for her? Like, yeah, it's going to be a little bit embarrassing for you because you have to say it. Like, you have to tell her not. But then at the table, I'm like, pues sí, mira que iba all these trips and she, like, spent money on herself, but she never had money to, like, say.
A good Mexican mom también la va a regañar a ella. Yeah. Like, oye, pues Patricia, pues tiene razón, Miguel Ángela, que nomás andas allá de viaje y mira, ¿cuándo les mensajeado a la niña?
Y no las
no, mamá, pues es que no tengo, no, hay bien que tienes dinero para andar, you know?
Yeah.
I can already hear it. Like,
you're not an asshole, baby. We're never assholes when it pertains to our kids.
No.
You know what's best and you don't want to regret it in the future, you know? So no regrets.
The only time you're an asshole, never mind.
My mom always says, más vale prevenir que lamentar. So right now, you better kick it right now in the butt instead of like you baptize her, no money. She doesn't show up and she never hears from her again, you know? So you do you, baby. It's going to be a hard conversation, but what do we say? Hard conversations make the perfect outcomes. Do we say that?
Yeah.
It sounds about right. We're at 50, babe. I think we should end it.
Okay. Dang, guys. I always say that like we're going to rapid fire these or like we're going to read so many. But we probably read what? 6?
Yeah.
And there was 160 submitted, you know? Like, I kid you not. So it's like, I wish we could do part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these, but
this is part of having a podcast. We just ramble and tell you our opinion, just like if we were friends. I catch up every week, right?
Hopefully, we made your way to work or school a little bit quicker and nicer and more enjoyable. And we love you guys. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And yeah, like we appreciate you because times right now suck. Like the economy sucks. Everything that's going on with immigration and like people being torn apart, and the fact that like we see this podcast as like, I'm talking from personal experience because when I see when I listen to a podcast, I can kind of like maybe forget about real life problems for just maybe those 40 minutes. So if we're that little outlet for you guys, we really appreciate you, and hopefully we made your day a little bit better.
Yes, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
Later.
media group.